Hello. I woke up this morning and I just knew I had to share my dragon remembrance story. And I've been mapping it out because there's been quite a unfolding that has occurred um, with the whole story. So it's been quite funny for myself to just see how many different threads have popped in over the past year and a bit. And then also realizing, as much as I talk to, I guess, the safe people about the dragon part of me, and those that I know have been dragons before, um, I didn't realize I wasn't ready to share it with the world. So I've been moving through my own feelings of I guess nervousness and um, yeah, just trying to keep myself calm and know that it's okay, know that it's safe to speak and to be seen. So I am actually really excited. It's been a long time coming. I've been really meaning to share more openly about my whole dragon story, but I guess it's not just my story to tell, which will become evident as I share it some more. And I know that I'm always understanding it in different layers and deeper depths as well. So I guess I just want to share this with you in the hopes that it will spark your own remembrance, whether it's a lifetime when you have been connected with the dragons, working with the dragons, or if it's remembering that you are a dragon yourself. So, with that, I guess I will begin with um, last year, so early 2024. I was at a bit of a crossroads in my life and just needing some deeper guidance. I am a kinesiologist and a multidimensional quantum healer and had used those modalities a bit. Even in January or February last year, I had received my first human blueprint kinesiology session, and the core belief that came up with that was all around self-worth and not feeling worthy, which has been a core soul wound of mine. So I guess I was still kind of following that thread. And I ended up having my first psilocybin journey in March, and that really just blew my whole mind open. I wanted to expand my consciousness, and I certainly did. In that journey, I knew I was from another dimension, and there was a part of me that was trapped in another dimension, and I had to free myself from that. And I guess the main issue I was having was this power struggle with my youngest daughter. And what I learnt was that we had been told before by a psychic that we had had many, many, many lifetimes together. And I was able to see from this expanded perspective how it had all been leading to this point and how this lifetime was about our journey together. And um, yeah, it was just really interesting to see how we'd been stuck in this karmic loop, and we needed to, I guess, obviously get out of it, but it was also knowing how much of my journey is and my soul mission is about helping her with her soul mission, knowing that these children that are coming through, they are honestly bringing something so very different, so very special and new. And knowing that my work is primarily with the mothers, knowing that it's helping the mothers who are here to help these children, whether you want to call them crystal kids, indigo kids. Um, I don't know, but they're definitely a whole new breed, that's for sure. So it took me a whole week to integrate from that journey. That was, yeah, very, very interesting. And I honestly didn't think I was going to have another journey again. It felt like it had been so sacred and I'd received so much out of it. Um, but oh, when was I? Didn't write it down. Yeah, it's not, that doesn't matter. Um, the next bit that I did write down, I was kind of yeah, just trying to follow this timeline. In June last year, I had an Akashic reading done. And again, was still having some issues with my daughter, and she saw our soul contract and that the contract was around pain and destruction, and to see if love really does conquer all, and really just about being the return to love, which was kind of what had come through in the first journey, seeing that actually that was what I was going to say. My second journey had been in April, and that was where I was able to see into the 5D New Earth, whatever it is that you'd like to call it, and just see how it was all about the divine union. And yeah, so this Akashic reading was the return to love, which is what I feel like we're all here, we're all experiencing different questions around love, different facets around love, different experiences around love, and seeing how far we can all be separated from love and make our way back. So, so that was really interesting. Then in August last year, I did a Lionsgate meditation, and in that I saw my heart as this crystal heart, and saw how a piece of it was missing. And knew that it was connected to my youngest daughter again, with us having had so many lives together. And in that Akashic reading, I had discovered that she had been my mother more times than I had been her mother, which was, I guess, part of that power struggle. But in this meditation, I didn't really see the specifics, but I just came to understand that she, my youngest, had been part of I guess the takeover that happened in ancient Egypt, and I may have been a priestess or something, I'm not too sure, but um, we were like, yeah, a lot of the women that had been in power had been removed from power with force. So I knew that, yeah, she had been part of doing that to me. So that was what had made my heart split. So that was in August last year. Around the same time, July and August, I had also been doing breath work with this amazing lady who was doing some practice sessions to finish up her certification. And this biodynamic breath work is amazing, and it works with bands that kind of correlate with the chakras. And I can't remember which chakra it was specifically. It might have been the sacral that I saw. Like, I just remember it being too bright. Like, it was already a dark room. I'd already closed the blinds. Or maybe I hadn't, and I needed to close the blinds, and I needed to put an eye mask on. Like, I needed it to be dark, and then I could start to see this glow. And then I realized I was inside this egg. And in that egg, I realized I was a dragon, and I was breaking out of the egg. I was being birthed or coming out into the world. And in that, I had to learn how to walk, learn how to breathe fire, learn how to fly. And that was all really fun and beautiful. And then it kind of fast forwarded. I still couldn't work out if it was the same lifetime or a different time I'd been a dragon, but I was feeling this full physical response where I couldn't move my feet, my legs, like I just felt like I was trapped. And I was supported and guided with the facilitator to, yeah, just return back to my own safety, and then try to explore it a bit more. And I remember being face to face with this dragon, and this dragon was trapped. And what had happened was these mountains. Um, I don't know if it was an earthquake or what kind of disaster had happened, whether it was to do with the fall of Lemuria, but yeah, this dragon had ended up being trapped under these mountains and couldn't move her tail and lower part of her body. And I was just with her, stroking her head until her final moments, and then seeing the rest of the land kind of break and fall apart, and her just return to the water. And I really feel like where this happened would have been around the Galapagos Islands, where I've always felt a deep pull. So one day I'll make it there and see what I feel then. But yeah, it was a real beautiful, tender moment. And yeah, one of the first few times I'd seen myself as a dragon. And um, I thought that was probably in preparation because it was a few days before my 40th, so the end of August, that I ended up doing a quantum healing on both my daughters because they'd just really been at it with each other. And I was like, there's something going on with them. What is it? And I tuned in and I we knew my from that same psychic that had told us that I'd had many lives with our youngest, she had also told us that our oldest had been a fairy. And so I tuned in and I just saw this fairy flying and I knew it was her. And I saw her um, flying with this water dragon and they were racing over this beautiful body of water. And it just seemed like they were the best of friends and having so much fun. And then the next thing I knew, the fairy was gone. So what I think had happened is maybe the dragon's tail had hit the fairy and she'd landed in the water. Um, and yeah, I'm not sure the specifics of how it was that she died, but I just know the dragon went back into the water and pulled her out. But yeah, she was lifeless, and the dragon looking around and feeling like everyone that had witnessed the event was blaming the dragon and feeling yeah, like she was to blame, and yeah, it just felt so sad, and I felt like that was when her heart split. And I made the connection then that I had been this dragon, and that me and my youngest, we had shared the same soul until this split had occurred, until this fracture point had occurred. And then we split. So maybe we had been the baby dragon together, and then we had split. And then I think I had been the dragon that continued that life in Lemuria, I believe it was. It could also have been some other elemental type realm. And yeah, it was really, it explains so much about the just the dynamics around our youngest daughter, who can be so sweet. But then there's just this um, visceral response that comes out of her. She is a splenic projector, so I feel like that's a big part of it. But yeah, it was just really interesting to see. And also, I guess at some point I realized with our soul split and our contract, I think it was when I was doing another session on the family towards the end of last year or early this year. No, it was last year. And I saw that within that soul split had also been the split of contracts. So it's almost like she got the brunt of it. So she got the conquering side, whereas I got the love side. So I know I'd had a few tough lines, but it felt like overall I'd had it so much easier than she had. She'd gone through a lot of horrible lives where she had been the perpetrator and she had also been the victim. So that was really eye-opening, I would say, and again, expanding my consciousness, which then expanded even further in October. I last year I had my third psilocybin journey, and the call-in for this one had been just knowing it was a women's only circle. And I think a week before that, I had received these codes. It was this beautiful rainbow light and blue light that had come through. Um, and I wasn't sure exactly what they had meant, but that journey helped me actually experience it and understand it and know that it was all connected to do with the dragon awakening. I saw some of the women in that circle, the dragon selves wake up. I saw myself as this creator dragon, that knowing that we are all creators of our own universe and that we I guess in a sense have to come back into what we have created so we can fix it from the inside. So we are the change makers, the game makers, the game changers. And I guess there were a few things that came out of this journey, which were um, knowing that some of the dragons were not ready to wake up, like I still remember seeing one dragon with its eyes kind of flicker open and like kind of look around and be like, no, wake me up when it's time. And I wish I'd asked time for what. Um, but it was interesting because as I knew I was like reinserted back into the universe I had created, I went through this journey of moving through each of the seven major chakras and really just doing this mass clearing out. And at each point, like I knew each time I'd finished a chakra and had like a I guess like there was something distinct about each chakra as well, like a personal relationship in my life. And just knowing that as I was moving up through each of the layers, it was clearing also all of this interference that's kind of in the way of creating the telepathic network. So at some point throughout that journey, I received the message that we were building the telepathic network and all of the stuff that we carry in our energy fields. It's just creating all of this noise and this static that is making it hard to interact with one another, but also it's our own negative thoughts, whether it's projecting out onto others or projecting inwards onto ourselves, that kind of gets in the way. So once we know we're able to communicate telepathically, then it's going to be the, oh no, did they know what I just thought? Oh, I didn't mean to think that, like all those kind of stories that can run through our head. So I was kind of really just trying to clear that out of the system and yeah, really feeling this moment of, yep, like we made it to the crown and like, yeah, like you're online now and helping make others online. Still can't say I communicate telepathically. I've had a couple of little moments here, but I know it's, I guess, part of once more, whether it's more dragons, because obviously dragons do communicate telepathically, but it's, yeah, I feel like it's more of a collective field thing. I know a lot of the work I do in the etheric is clearing all of that static that I've been talking about as well. So, um, yeah, so it was through that I birthed my chakra clearing course, and that came out in November. And I knew there was going to be an element with the dragons after having gone through that experience. I know I'm an experiential being and I need to experience things before I can share about them. And I need to understand them. I guess that's the 1-3 manifesting generator in me. But it was really interesting because I only shared in a couple of spaces about the whole dragon part of it. And yeah, I wasn't ready to really be like, yeah, this is really working with your dragon. Um, and what was interesting, what came through, because there really was this activation and connection with your own dragon aspect of yourself, but also it was noticing that for some, they haven't been a dragon before, and for some, it was an angelic connection. So it was really about the wings. So whether the wings are dragons or angels, it was, yeah, just really about this winged remembrance. And um, there was a beautiful moment. I'm trying to remember which chakra it was that we freed some dragons that had been trapped in some sort of grid within the earth. So that felt good. And then even from the beginning, like we were breaking free, like pulling out the plug from the matrix. And there was, I think it was in the sacral, there was the Saturn moon matrix disconnection as well. So there was a lot of big stuff that we did in that series, and um, yeah, there was just helping me get more comfortable with my own dragon as well. Um, and I think also freeing those dragons helped prepare me for some one-on-one sessions I did in December, just before Christmas, I think it was, where there were these dragons that were frozen in the ice in some real far out there, long ago, multi-dimensional realms. Um, and yeah, it was just such an honor to be able to free these dragons. And again, not knowing what exactly had happened to them, but just knowing that they were free. And there was it happened in two sessions. In the first one, it was just this one distinct ice dragon, and then in the second session, it was this group of dragons, and then activating this stellar gateway for them to return wherever they needed to go. And yeah, I guess I was just really humbled at being able to do the work and just having this connection with the dragons. Again, still trying to understand what my own connection was. I feel like in the very early days of my own awakening remembrance, I had seen like a dragon come through a couple of times and thought it was a guide, but still wasn't really trustworthy, like trusting it. Still trying to discern what energies I could and couldn't trust. And so, yeah, I think I always just thought it was this dragon guide that kept trying to come through until I realized it had been me. And knowing that, yeah, I had been this ethereal type dragon in many realms. Then, let's see. Just checking my notes again. In February this year, I did my Transcend Limitations um, series, which was interesting blend of it was like I'd been trying to, I think it was in January, I was like I really wanted to put out a manifestation course, and then like feeling like everyone's trying to do that sort of stuff in January. And I, having finished the chakras in December, wanted to do something for the five elements and the meridians. Yeah, I think it was more the meridians, and then I realized, yeah, to work with the five elements as well, it kind of blends in with the manifesting, just working through the five element cycle. And then I had Kuan Yin come through in a dream, and I was able to see how I had been compartmentalizing and needed to bring them all in as a whole. And I just realized I missed a big chunk. This was back in November last year. Cialano Australia came and did an Egypt Codes workshop. I'm pretty sure it was in November. And it was on the first day when we had this meditation with Sekhmet that we went to Lyra, and it was there that I saw myself as this golden dragon just swimming through these beautiful waters. Um, and I'd known I was Lyran. I know who my Lyran sisters are in this lifetime, and it's been such a blessing to connect with these women in my life. But I guess I'd always assumed that I was a lion like them. So it was really interesting to see that I had been this golden dragon. And then the next thing that happened at the end of the month, I had sat with grandfather medicine, and in that journey, I received the call to higher service, which I felt was very overwhelming, and I felt like I was already doing a lot. So I was like, no, I can't do it. I'm doing enough. Like, and that brought up a lot of the self-worth as well, because then I was like, aren't I doing enough? And in talking to the facilitator there to receive some guidance, I needed a hug, but then I needed our foreheads to touch. And in that, I saw her as this beautiful dragon, and in the reflection of her eye, I saw my dragon self. So it was like I could only see myself reflected through another person. So this is why you'll hear about everyone being a mirror, because we can only see the reflections. We need everything to be reflected back to us so we can make sense of it and see and understand. And yeah, so it was just beautiful to be seen, to see myself. And then the next thing that happened was just having this complete electrical surge run through me. And I somehow birthed some sort of electrical dragon. I don't even know. It was gone pretty much as soon as it had happened. And yeah, it was very, very intense. But yeah, so that was last year. Fast forward again back to this year doing the transcend limitations. It felt like I was um, owning that dragon some more. And yeah, when I saw um, I can't remember which element it was actually. When we went through one of them, I saw myself back as that golden dragon and realizing I had been an abundance dragon. And in my little treasure cave where I had collected, I guess, my favorite things, I had this earth replica there. And just realizing my connection with Earth, just how long it has gone for. And yeah, I know more will unfold out of that. Um, so the interesting thing was when I finished the call, like the last call for Transcend Limitations, I thanked the land for where I was hiring the venue to film it. And I got this message, you'll be back. And I was like, oh, I thought I was done. Like, that's weird. And then like I packed up and went to the toilet and then it dropped in that I needed to do another round of the chakras and that it needed to be there. I really feel like working on the land there is working with some sort of song line. That was really what was coming through in the Transcend Limitations series. And yeah, so I've been busy working on that. And it was really beautiful that last year was working with the year of the dragon, and this year is working with the year of the snake. And both are such expanders. The dragon is really this expander of consciousness and this just huge transformation. It's really out there. Whereas the snake is more going in and it's more going into the inner depths and really going far and wide and just really bringing everything back in. So I really thought that that's what the Chakra Mastery series was going to be about. I also had seen at the like well, throughout the chakra clearing series, we kind of ended each one by going like sometimes it was like a dragonfly going through from the back chakra and then out through the front chakra. And so what I've seen for the chakra mastery is how each chakra is actually going to be treated as its own toroidal field. So I'm really excited about really working in that depth. And the interesting thing is that um, I guess so many taught or like a lot of the spiritual advice is that the chakras, it's all about like working from the bottom up and ascending and reaching enlightenment and stuff. Whereas I feel like what um, like I'm still trying to fully find the words to convey what's come through. Like I still feel like this is very much a building the telepathic network. I feel like this is very connected to the dragons, and it's really about just each of these energy centers are really just a way of I don't know the technological term. It's like these transducers or compressors, or like they're just really receiving this energy. So it's like if you think of the chakras as this vortex, it was like so much was getting stuck in these vortices, and that's where all of our old um, like emotions and thoughts and beliefs were getting all muddied and stuck. And um, yeah, so it's like trying to instead of like trying to suck everything in, we've had to come up with a different way so that we can really just be anchoring in all of the energy, all of the multidimensional aspects of who we have been from um like from the beginning of time. Especially if you have been one of these creator dragons, then you've been through it all. You've been through all the dimensions. You've been through all the realms. So it's like, what else is there? So it's coming and like bringing it all into this physical form and being able to access all of it. So I was really excited about bringing that through, and I've set the dates for the live series in September. And I wanted to I guess, yeah, so I launched it in June while I was in Bali, and um, yeah, just wanted to give people time to work through the replay bundle, the chakra clearing from last year, and yeah, to give them that chance to work with the dragon because I really thought we were working with the snake this year. But a couple of weeks ago, I received the guidance that like that it's still part of the dragon awakening. And I don't know how much is influence from, I went to the pyramids of Chi when we were in Bali and did the ancient sound meditation there. And um, what came through was like in lots of different snippets, but I ended up inside this mountain and like I know I worked through the root chakra and then later on the sacral, but it was like I would then come up and then come back down again because it was like knowing that there was still work to do. And I it was when I was in the sacral chakra that I saw myself washing this beautiful green crystal egg that had these beautiful symbols intricately woven within it. Um, so that was very interesting. Yeah, like a lot of the what came through was towards the end of the journey, and then it was over. So then I was like, oh, but trusting that I had received what I needed to receive at the time. And then on the last day, like our trip in Bali, I had my Reclaim Your Voice live call for those that are in the etheric circle inside the shift. And the tree that I had seen at the end of that sound journey was like there from the beginning of this journey. So it was beautiful to reconnecting with that, knowing that I had kind of picked up where I had left off. But um, it was more so in our Mount Fuji call a couple of weeks ago for those inside the grid that um, we were guided into this space where we entered this time that had been frozen, and we were greeted by this ice dragon who had been the dragon that I had freed in that one-on-one session before Christmas, which I was just in tears. I guess I had accepted that I wasn't going to see or know anything about that dragon, so it was beautiful to go into this meeting. It seemed like a council meeting and yeah, we were being invited to sit at the table. And even before, like on our journey to get to there, there was this real beautiful moment when we were drumming and like we could feel our ancestors drumming around us, and like there were dragons as well using their tail to drum. And I could see the little dragon that I had birthed as well, that it was just there grooving to its own beat. So that was really beautiful that it kind of came through to help us guide there. Um, so anyway, yeah, I've just had lots of dragon energy just pouring through all of my work, um, pretty much through all of June. And the interesting thing is that I also received this inspiration to create a free energetic sovereignty guide, which you'll be able to find on my website. And I then realized that that was part of this. I've called it the Sovereign Spiral, which is just this guide to your awakening and remembrance journey. And the way, like, I've always struggled with the whole. Awakening terminology because I feel like we just need to remember, but I've kind of seen how they are both interlinked in the sense that it is, when you've woken up from a real deep sleep and you've got that fogginess, and then you start to think, oh, what day is it? Oh, what do I have to do today? Oh, like the day-to-day stuff just kind of starts to fall back in. I kind of feel like that's the this space that I work from, that fogginess, that really just trying to like you're waking up, but you're still kind of stuck in that haze. So yeah, so in creating the Sovereign Spiral, it was to be a guide, like just a simple guide, PDF guide about just the different stages of awakening and what to expect. But then I had the inspiration to create a live container, which will be the memory chambers. I still need to set dates for that. And that's just going to be taking us through different parts of our own soul remembrance. And I I've almost no, I have finished it. I did finish it the other day, and I was trying to work out, oh, how am I going to market that when I'm meant to be talking about chakra mastery? And then I just, again, with some external guidance, I received the message that it's all part of the same whole. And as soon as I realized that it was to do with the dragons again, and realizing that this sovereign spiral was always to do with the dragons. So it's now a bonus for those that sign up to Chakra Mastery. And it's going to be, yeah, it's really going to take you through this amazing remembrance and activation that's going to really up level what it is that we're going to do in chakra mastery. And it's really all just working with the dragon energy so that we can all remember the dragon aspects of ourselves, remember what it is that we've came here to do, what it is that we've already laid the foundation for in many other lifetimes, like whether you were a dragon that helped create the original dragon lines, or anything in between. It's really um, like the dragons are calling. That's all I know, and I'm doing my best to listen to them and answer their call. And I just know that sharing my dragon story, which is so interwoven and connected with my business, as you can see, that it was time for me to really share that with you. So I really hope you enjoyed listening to my story. If anyone has any stories that they would like to share, please share them in the comments. And if you are interested in any of my offerings, I'll pop the links in there as well. Please like my video. Please hit subscribe on my channel. I will start posting some more up here as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. So, once again, thank you for listening and goodbye. Mm.